coming to you from like Raleigh, North Carolina area. So this is what my life looks like, traveling every single day to work on Highway 40, which is just as bad as 95. In some areas, probably worse. So that being said, I like to occupy my mind while I'm driving, so I don't get like stressed. I mean, I'm paying attention to the road, but I'm also like, oh, what can I do? So this hour, 15 hour plus, depending on traffic, it's good right now because tomorrow's a holiday, Martin Luther King. And so like the weekend is better because not everybody's on the road, like the business people and stuff like that. So, and then the kids. But so anyway, this is what I do to, distract my mind from being in the car so long. So I get my gas for sure, right? Because you don't know what the gas stations are like where you're going, and you think they're safe, but most of the time around the hospitals they are not. So I try to be prepared. So I always carry just my ID and a credit card, and then some cash underneath my seats, somewhere in the car if my card doesn't work, like a backup plan. Then just carry, your essentials. I literally, because it's supposed to snow, you don't know when. So I literally did a thing in my back of my vehicle in case I'll need to crash if I'm doing 3 stretches or something like that. So then I'm like, okay, sitting here, I'm like, what can I do? So I do crunches on my steering wheel. I know if I'm driving by people, they probably think I have Tourette's or something, which is fine too. So I can get in a good ab workout while I'm driving. Of course, if it's so busy, then I'm gonna slow down the, my motions or whatever so I can pay attention on driving. But also do yoga. So you can do simple moves like this, right? This helps your bye-bye arms, flabbies. So just do 100 count, and then switch arms while you're driving. I painted my nails too before I started going. It's Sally Hansen and drives in 3-4 minutes. So anyway, this is what I do. Sometimes I don't even listen to music because, it's stressful right now. Well, it's been stressful for a long time. 38 years in this business. It's been stressful, and I've worked several different hospitals, and every single one of them are different, and it's all in the same state. So I say if you're still a nurse right now, in the last 6 years, you have had it handed to you. I don't care where you're working, whether you're a travel nurse. I've been floor nurse too, over 20 years on the same unit, and I understand how those nurses feel. And I also understand how the travelers feel, because you get bullied and, you just feel like you're the new girl all the time. But we're all fighting for the same things. We all want to get paid what we're worth. We take care of human lives. We make really critical thinking decisions. The doctors are not at the bedside. And sometimes there's one doctor for the whole hospital for the whole night. So they're really relying on us to catch those small things. But then patient ratios really come into play because you'll be on a med surg unit, but it's a stroke unit, which is Q4 vital signs and Q4 NIH scale on a couple patients, plus you're getting admissions, and you're like, woo, you know what I'm saying? And then if you don't have CNAs, you're getting your own vitals, which is fine. But you can't ever find a Dynamap, because they're, who knows where they are, or the Accu-Check machine. If we could just, you know what I mean? The equipment, trying to find the equipment sometimes is the problem for the nurses to even do it. So it's just, that's the daily struggle that we deal with. And then you always have a few bullies in the bunch, no matter where you work. They're mad because you're traveling and coming to their hospital. Yeah, you could do the same thing I'm doing. You could get in a car and drive an hour 30 to work and work 12, 13 hours, then drive home. You know what I mean? So it's the bullying and the nurse on nurse has to stop. It's just so toxic. The environment's toxic, and you would think taking care of the patients would be the hard part, right? But no, it's actually dealing with some of your other coworkers. I have to say, the place I've worked at for 20 years, like, we have a really good, camaraderie, and we help one another. And if one of that nurses is drowning, we all go to help. That's the mentality we need to bring back. Not letting somebody drown when they're over there, because it's really about the patient. You know what I mean? Regardless of what kind of nurse we are. And then my thought about the strike situation, yeah, I understand those nurses. They deserve more, because it's expensive where they live, for one thing. And those patients are hard, they're, what's going on in our streets and our mental health. That's what we're seeing at the bedside. So anyway, that's my thought, and sending love and light to the situation, and, really hoping that the New York nurses, can get what is fair for them. And I also support the nurses working inside the building, because that's not easy either. So I feel like this is a great time for change in our healthcare system, but it's got to come from us. The bigger ups are not going to do the changing, right? It's like being in a dysfunctional family. You got to be the one to change. We got to be the ones to stand up for ourselves and talk about these issues, and not be in such a complaining way about it, but really find some solution to these ongoing problems. This isn't anything that just started. This is years of systemic situations. So this was my first real video about this, and I'm glad that there's so many speaking out, because we stay quiet for too long. We're like that group of people that just leave us be, right? But you people are ruffling our feathers, so here we are. We're ready to talk about it. And this is like brand new baby nurses, it's travel nurses, it's nurses that have been at the bedside for years and have given up all of their whole life every weekend. Can you imagine working every weekend for your whole entire 20-year career at night, giving up and sacrificing holidays, weekends, going to cookouts? Like, that says a lot about dedication and who we are as people and what we give. In COVID, everyone else was home while we were still working. We've never had a break. We've been going for 6 years now. 6 years. We've been ripping and running and trying to make a way to survive. If we all got paid what we were worth, we would not have to drive an hour and a half up the road to go to work or go to another state. Yeah, it's fun to go travel and see things, but most of the time you're so tired on your day off, you just lay in bed and binge watch something. So this is me coming from North Carolina. Hope this helps. I hope some of my friends chime in, because we need your voice out here as well. Love and light. All right, gonna continue to work out here. Look, I have my little sandbag weights too, so you don't get hit in the head with the other weights. I carry my sandbags, so there it is. And there's no reason we can't work out, right? All right, talk to you later. Bye.